What would you do if you lost your virginity to a stranger in a club bathroom and woke up to find out he's a billionaire who won't let you go? Time seemed to stop. Chioma stood frozen with David's knife pressed against her throat, feeling the cold metal bite into her skin. Her parents were crying in their chairs. Tobias stood 5 feet away, his hands raised, calculating the distance, looking for an opening. "David, please," Chioma whispered. "This isn't you. Isn't it?" His breath was hot against her ear. "You turned me into this. You and your rich boyfriend. I didn't turn you into anything. You chose this." Quick question. Have you ever watched someone you loved become someone you don't recognize? Drop yes if you know that pain, because what happens next will break your heart. "Let her go, David." Tobias's voice was calm, controlled. "Whatever you want, we can work it out. But hurting her won't fix anything. Won't it?" David laughed bitterly. "At least I'll finally make her feel what I felt. The pain, the rejection, the humiliation. You want to hurt me?" Chioma felt tears streaming down her face. "Fine. Hurt me, but let them go first. My parents did nothing to you. Your parents raised the woman who destroyed my life." "No." Chioma's voice grew stronger despite her fear. "You destroyed your own life, David. You chose to leave me on graduation night. You chose to see another woman. You chose to let me go. I just chose not to wait for you to come back." Something flickered in David's eyes. Pain. Regret. The knife trembled slightly against her throat. That's when everything happened at once. The brewery door burst open. Connell rushed in with 3 security men behind him. David spun toward the noise, pulling Chioma with him. Tobias lunged forward, and in the chaos the knife slipped. Chioma felt it, a sharp burning along her neck, not deep but enough to draw blood. She screamed. Her father roared, and Tobias tackled David to the ground with a force that knocked the knife flying across the concrete floor. "Get her!" Connell shouted to his men as he rushed to untie Chioma's parents. 2 security guards grabbed David, pinning him down while Tobias crawled to Chioma. "Let me see," he said urgently, his hands gentle as he examined her neck. "It's not deep. You're okay. You're going to be okay." "My parents." "Connell has them. They're safe." Chioma looked over to see Connell cutting the ropes, her mother sobbing with relief, her father holding her tight. They were okay. Everyone was okay, except David. He lay on the floor, tears streaming down his face, looking broken and small. "I'm sorry," he kept saying.
"I'm sorry.
I just wanted you to love me again." "That's not how love works," Chioma said quietly. Pressing a cloth Tobias gave her against her neck. "You can't force it. You can't threaten it into existence. Real love. It just is." The police arrived 10 minutes later. They took David away in handcuffs, still crying, still apologizing. Chioma watched him go and felt nothing but pity. "Come on," Tobias said softly. "Let's get you to a hospital." "I'm fine. It's just a scratch." "You're bleeding. We're going to the hospital." She wanted to argue, but she was so tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of running. Tired of pretending to be strong when she was terrified. So she let him lead her to his car, let him drive her to the hospital, let him hold her hand while the doctor stitched up the small cut on her neck. "You're lucky," the doctor said. "Another inch and it would have hit something serious." Luckily, that's what she was. Lucky to be alive. Lucky to have escaped. Lucky that Tobias had found her. 3 weeks later, Chioma stood in front of the mirror in Tobias's penthouse, studying the small scar on her neck. It was healing well. The doctor said it would fade in time, maybe disappear completely. But Chioma wasn't sure she wanted it to disappear. It was a reminder of how close she'd come to losing everything, of how precious life was, of how love, real love, was worth fighting for. "You're thinking too much," Tobias said from the doorway. "I can see it on your face." She smiled. "Just remembering. The brewery? Everything. That night at Eclipse. David. The threats. All of it." Tobias crossed the room and wrapped his arms around her from behind, his chin resting on her shoulder. Do you regret it? Meeting me?
No.
She turned in his arms to face him. I regret how it happened. I regret the danger. But I don't regret you. Good. Because I don't regret you either. They had been living together for 3 weeks now. Officially, it was for her safety until they were sure David had acted alone. But unofficially, they both knew it was more than that. I should probably go back to my apartment, Chioma said, not for the first time. Why? Because people are talking. Ada calls me every day asking when I'm coming home. My mother keeps hinting that we're moving too fast. Are we? Chioma looked up at him. This man who had turned her life upside down, who had protected her, fought for her, refused to let her go. I don't know. Maybe. Probably. But I don't want to leave. Tobias smiled. Then don't. It's not that simple. Why not? Because, she struggled to find the words. Because we're from different worlds, Tobias. You're a billionaire. I'm a lawyer who can barely pay off her student loans. You live in a penthouse. I live in a one-bedroom in Kubwa. You have bodyguards and drivers and none of that matters, he interrupted. The money, the status, the different worlds. None of it matters if we're together. That's easy for you to say. You have the money. You're right. His expression grew serious. I do have the money. But you know what I didn't have before I met you? A reason to come home. A reason to smile. A reason to believe that someone could see me, really see me, and not just my bank account. Tobias. I love you, Chioma. The words hung in the air between them. He'd never said it before. They'd been dancing around it for weeks, but neither had taken that final step. You don't have to say it back, he continued quickly. I know it's fast. I know we barely know each other, but I needed you to know. I needed you to understand why I want you here, why I want you in my life, not as a guest, not as someone I'm protecting, but as my partner, my equal, my everything. Chioma felt tears welling up.
I'm scared.
So am I. What if we're moving too fast? What if this crashes and burns? Then we'll crash and burn together. He cupped her face in his hands. I would rather have 1 year with you than a lifetime without you. I would rather risk everything than play it safe. That's crazy. Love is crazy. She laughed through her tears. I love you too. God help me, I do. When he kissed her, it was with all the passion and promise of a man who had finally found what he'd been searching for. And when she kissed him back, it was with the heart of a woman who had stopped running from her feelings and started embracing them. They were interrupted by Kunnel's voice from the hallway. Olga, sorry to disturb, but we have a problem. Tobias pulled away reluctantly. What is it? Someone's been asking questions about Miss Chioma, about her family, about where she's staying. Chioma's blood ran cold. David's in jail. It's not David, Kunnel said grimly. It's a woman, and she's been watching the penthouse. Tobias and Chioma exchanged glances. The nightmare wasn't over. It was just beginning. End of chapter 4. David's in jail, but a new threat has emerged. A woman is watching them. Who is she? What does she want? And will Chioma and Tobias's love survive what's coming next? Drop Who is SHE? In the comments if you're as scared as we are. And subscribe because chapter 5, the final chapter, is going to reveal everything. The truth about the woman, the final confrontation, and whether love can really conquer all.